glass hedgehog. Let's go.
Alright. Hello, everyone. Hope my audio is okay. Right. Doing another stream similar to what I did the other day. Yeah, mostly just trying to keep up with the momentum. So last time I continued on with what my big sketch batch from a few months ago. So see here, there's 96 characters from across Sonic Expanse that I've sketched out, and I've laid out just basic color on them, just to sort of, you know, give a brief idea of how they look. So the last time I streamed was 2 days ago. I started off with just a couple here. I initially planned to do the characters in order, like instead of doing it horizontally like I did with the sketches. I planned to do from top to bottom vertically, but yeah, this time I'm deciding to just go with community suggestions. So on Twitter, Blue Sky, and DeviantArt, I've asked for people to pick out two numbered characters from the list. Got a few suggestions, so I've got some lined up for the next few streams. But the two in particular that I'll be doing today are number 25, Lucent Lineart, and number 80, Modern Trip. So those two in particular, they both were suggested twice each, so they seem like a good place to start. So I'll do that, and yeah, hopefully working on these will encompass the amount of time needed for a stream. So effectively about 4 hours, but last time I cut it short because I finished too early. So yeah, so I'll spend about 2 hours each on both of them. Yeah, I'll get started on that now then. Not too sure which one I feel like doing. I think I might start with Trip. Yeah, so yeah, last time I did Achahamok, the Shackle King, King Boomber, and then Minette the Squirrel, who is a version of Sonette from Adventure of the Sonic the Hedgehog, and also Ray's twin sister. Just a recap. Right, I think I'll go with Trip, just because I'm destroying her. Just bear with me, I have to find the reference for how she looked. 1 second. Yeah, anyways, yeah, I'm streaming probably at an inconvenient time for most people. It's like 12 o'clock where I am, so yeah, it's just about lunchtime for me, but yeah, I have mentioned in the past that I've been wanting to try out different streaming times, so this is kind of a time that's been comfortable, but I'm still wanting to test out later times. So in the past I'd streamed like a couple of hours before, but yeah, I might do some later ones, like evening for me times. We'll see. Anyways, I'm just trying to find a reference for what I have for Trip. Okay. Now, this will be the first time I've actually done a refined image of her design solo. Like, the very first image I did of her was very rough. Got the point across, but yeah, not very clear. And then the second time I drew her was a group shot with Amy, and then like subsequent images have always had her with someone. So this will be the first time that I'll be drawing her solo in a cleaner manner. Let's see. Get started on this. Check out my pens. Is that the same? Yeah, it is. Okay. Mega Master 2110. Hey, hello, welcome. Very chill at the moment. I imagine it's pretty late for most people, but it's alright. Actually, I've been thinking that like you know, usually I have a few viewers here, which is pretty nice to have, but I've been thinking, ooh, it might be a lot less pressure if I didn't have anyone. So, but it's, yeah, nice people still pop in. Hello, welcome. Hope you're having a nice evening, I'm assuming. I've actually got to try to find. That's good. I'm glad to hear it. I really should try to reconcile her modern design with her classic design a bit more. It's only done one pass over with the design, but I cannot remember what her classic design actually looks like. There. I've always been quite fond of this design. Yeah, it's pretty tragic for all classic characters, really. It would be really good to see everybody get modern treatment. I don't know why they're so resistant to it, but it leaves things open for fan interpretation, which is really fun, at least. Yeah, I would actually love to see an actual modern Fang. Now that I think about it, I don't think I've ever designed a modern Fang before. I don't imagine I'd really do much. Actually, good point. Actually, I wonder how. Because like when I'd like to translate, for myself personally, when I try to imagine classic characters in a modern form, I like to change things up a little bit. I always like to use the chaotics as a benchmark, considering how drastic a difference the designs between classic and modern for those three in particular. Like Vector is a big one. He goes from like a kind of skinny guy to like a big muscular form. So whenever I try to imagine classic characters in modern form, I like to at least establish that level of difference between them. And I guess Amy as well is another good example. Actually, Amy was a pretty big influence on this particular design, because like I like to go with the idea that, well, for the most part for a trip here, her design functions primarily on the idea of her dragon form. So like I established the idea that her body has grown past physical limits in order to be able to accommodate her dragon form. So technically her height here at the moment is probably roughly how big Dragon Trip would be, like standing upright. So basically, yeah, her body's just grown up just more to suit that, so that when she does take on dragon form, it's like more comfortable for her. But another thing I've sort of done with her Trip in particular is her hairstyle. It's like I've given her like longer quills in comparison to her, well, in contrast to her shorter quills in Classic. I've always liked the idea that you know, modern Amy, when she grows up, her hairstyle becomes more reminiscent of Trip's sort of, you know, short side quills and stuff like that, and you know, the overall look. Whereas modern Trip here, she develops longer quills, much like classic Amy's quill setup. Yeah, just a cute little thing between them. Yeah, for Fang, I do have a lot of stuff in mind for Fang in Expanse, but I've never actually drawn anything for him, I don't believe. Really should. Anyways, another big goal for myself with these streams, like whenever I stream, like a big focus is like testing myself to see how long it takes me to do things. So I kind of want to see how quickly I can, because the line art is the part that takes the longest amount of time for me. Probably takes about an hour and a half to do a bit of line art, so I want to see if I can maintain that consistency while you know, staving off perfectionism. yes, I would love to do modern Bean and Bark would be great as well. Especially since in Expanse I have characters introduced who are like, so I've got one character who is actually, I'll love the batches. Where are they? Here they are. Yeah, so one here is Berry the Duck, who is Bean's older sister, and then Branch the she goes by Branch the Sledger, who is Bark's little sister. So it'll be good to create designs for them at some point, just to accommodate their siblings who are pretty prominent. Bad so far. Oh, that's right. Another thing I should mention is that I mentioned last time the perspective of doing this, but I'm listening to the instead of my usual Shadow the Hedgehog OST, I'm listening to the beta build OST, which is only like 25 minutes worth of music, but it's fun. I've been listening to this a fair bit over the past couple of weeks since they came out. I love the the random versions of songs with lyrics in them. Actually, I should probably test out my bear with me 1 second. Okay, cool. Just making sure I actually had background audio. Last time I actually had a lot of trouble with troubleshooting because I'd messed around with my my Streamlabs settings a little while ago. But yeah, that's all good. Oh, also my chat box. Last time I did not have a chat box on my screen because apparently I shifted the layers at some point, so the chat box is still working, but it was beneath my overlay. But now it looks to be working alright. I can see your messages okay. Alright, so something that was really effective last time and something that I've really wanted to employ more is thicker outlines out on the outside. I find that my line art's decent enough, but like it's pretty thin across the board, but if I add some weight on the outside it looks very effective. And I really liked how it looked in those last two renders that I did. Just gotta remember to do that afterwards. something I use. It's a method I used to draw with a long time ago, but somehow lost it over time. Something though that I have, like with those last two that I did, I'm drawing on a smaller resolution. Like usually, like this is how I used to draw a long time ago. Like this, that there is 100%. So it's a very small canvas. Like if I crop that, it'll be a very small canvas just for the character. Over the past year or two, maybe I've been drawing on larger canvases, and I mean it's good in practice, but I find that this is more comfortable for me, just so that I, you know, what I have in front of me is what I need. Yeah, it's Hey, Musical. Welcome, how are you? Doing good? That's good to hear. I hope you're having a good day today. It's a really chill Wednesday. Actually, is it Wednesday? Double check that. I'm losing the plot. Yeah, Wednesday. Alright, I think that looks decent. Size 7 brush. Oh yeah, not the usual Shadow the Hedgehog OST. This time I'm listening to the beta build at the moment. It's very short, so I think it's like looped once already. Actually, no, that's literally just a loop just then.
Let's go.
like that.
Chaos blast. Chaos control.
I'm actually happy with how quickly that face came along. Actually, not really that quick. It's like spent like half an hour on that nearly.
Chaos control.
Let's adjust this a bit. I was complaining last time as well that for these I really should be doing a secondary sketch, but I think ultimately it's more fun just trying to clean something up from something really messy. I think the lineup process would be a lot easier and more streamlined if I'm working off of a cleaner sketch, but it's probably less entertaining that way because it's just following the stencils really. Now that I think about it, like if I was working off a cleaner sketch, I'd probably take maybe less time. Let's see, it's decent enough. I'm not worried about, because in this sketch, it's missing out on the emblem. What I'll do, I'll just extend the silent color drawing stuff on stream. Yeah, pretty much. ADP. Decrease the leg length. No, I think I'm really have to bring this up a bit more. Let's check. Yeah, I'll do that. Hi, by the way. Yes, hi. How are you today? Going alright? I've had better days, I've had worse days. Fair enough. It's been pretty long since I got limited sleep. Oh yeah, so you're in limited sleep at the moment? That's pretty rough. Yeah, I think my sleep pattern's pretty decent at the moment. Usually I default to my... Whenever I'm masked, my default is always, my sleep's not that great, but I think my sleep's not too bad at the moment. think that looks decent enough. I'll have to review it once I've gotten rid of the sketch layer. This area here is pretty complex. That's better. Most trying to struggle along with drawing hands. I'm gonna have to fiddle around with that a bit actually. Yeah. What am I doing here? I'm just making it up as I go along. Yeah, that's another point in favor of probably doing a secondary sketch, so I don't have to go around go with the fluffing around process of embarrassing myself in front of everyone. It's alright. That's okay, and then I just connect that part. Let it make this thinner. Yeah, that's not bad. Back-to-back streams. Well, I took a day off in between, but yeah, almost. Hey, big man. Howdies. How are you today? I need to force myself to keep doing these. Once the novelty's gone, it'll be a lot less stressful, like preparing myself to do them. But it's not too bad today, actually. It's very low key. Hello, B-Man. Oh, you're still sick. Oh no. That sucks. You getting better at least? I'm doing alright. Yeah. Yeah, so last time I was like on the fence about, you know, what order of the characters I wanted to do, but I've decided to go the route of like taking community suggestions. So I've gotten on Twitter and Blue Sky, I've asked people to pick out 2 characters they'd like to see. Trip and Lucent is who I'll be working on today. Both of these were picked out twice by people, so they've earned themselves some priority. Yeah, where is the Moo stream? I'm excited, been waiting for so long. Got up, ready to go to so I went back home and went back to, yeah. No sense in being there if you're not up to it. I actually had to go home sick from work the other day myself. It's I suppose it's that time where it's like transitioning between seasons. That's when I tend to get pretty sick. That's understandable. Yeah, some nasty cold going on, but I finally got. That's the worst. I don't mind when I get sick of my own accord, but like when I know that I've gotten it from other people, it's like getting mildly annoyed. It's also bad as well. It's like, when I'm keeping to myself and, just in my little safe space at home, I'm completely fine. But then, you go out once and then you get sick. That's when it gets really annoying. Slept for like 12 hours today. Wow, nice. Actually, last week I was like, for most days, I was running on like 4 hours sleep pretty much every day. But I think the day that I got sick, I slept for like 10 hours straight, and that was nice. Very refreshing. Thing is, okay, where I got it from, I don't want to spread it, but work field trips here. Ah, that sucks. I hate that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Gonna make it an extra long tail. You almost done with strip line art already? Yeah. Well, it's weird. Like the body's coming along real quick, but the face took like half an hour to do. So it's yeah, not too bad. I'm gonna try to take my time with it a little bit. It'll probably be done within the next 10-15 minutes, I reckon. It's taking longer than I'd hoped because I'm kind of adjusting things as I go along from the original sketch. That's fun. It's fun. Just making it up as I go along. Yeah, kinda, and just rendering updates because you know, the sketch looked good, but it was very like I had to completely restructure the abdomen, the abdomen area a bit because the design details were wrong. So I did not account for the little emblem on her belly, and yeah, I thought I'd have to shorten her legs, but the legs have been maintained the right length, so it's not too bad. Very salvageable. But yeah, you feeling a bit better after your 12-hour sleep?
One badass hedgehog. Let's go.
Yeah, she's a lot taller. I emphasize that fact quite a bit with her original renderings. So the very first image I did of her design was this one here. So I've got Amy's silhouette as a reference. She's about a head taller than her. So 90 centimeters, but she's about 120. And then I did another picture of her a little while back as well, where she's actually next to Amy and very tall. In between designs, I've sort of missed out on some details. Like the belly part here that I've had to adjust from the original. Yeah, this part here. But I'm sort of reconciling things a bit. I've also, I've noticed that I've also changed the head shape, this part here, from this one to, or it's sort of just merged in with it, but which one did I go for here? Oh yeah, I think I've gone with the second version. So I'm mixing and matching a little bit. Yeah, very tall. That's her big selling point for her design. Oh yeah, I was giving a spiel earlier about why she's like this, and it was more to reconcile her dragon form that she has in Superstars, where she's got a much bigger body. So the size she is here, she's technically as tall as Dragon Trip would be if she was standing upright, but here, now that she's older, her body's like taller and with more mass to accommodate her transformations, so they're a lot easier for her. I would like to draw a modern Dragon Trip at some point, but yeah, I'm not too sure how physically different it would be. Red Dalek 8521, Silent Night. Yes, that's me. Hello, welcome. Tall and super klutzy. Yes, that's correct. It's something I'd like to maintain with her, like with her personality and stuff. So I think with most of the designs I've drawn, most of the images I've drawn her with, she looks she maintains her sort of worried sort of expression. Am I the Silent Knight? I don't know if there's any other Silent Knights out there. I hope not. But yeah, I would say so. Yes, I'm the Silent Knight. Most people would know me from my spriting days from way back when, during the Mystical Forest Zone times. But I've dabbled in a lot of other things in between time. He Faker. Yes, M Faker. Sooner than that. Yeah. I started like my first foray into like the Sonic community was Warped Inks. But yeah, I just use MFC as a reference point because most people will recognize that time. I've been around since a few years before that era. And then the middle ground after the Warped Inks died. My first online community though was actually Mugen community. that's how I first got into spriting. I used to make fighting game sprites, but then I got into Sonic and like started making smaller sprites, and the rest was history. A 40-year-old man, not quite. Got another couple of years until then. Okay, so I've got to try to... I've got to make the tail longer. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe I could try to fit in a couple of segments. I see. Well, I'm surprised to hear you speaking since YouTube is down? YouTube's down? Ghost Stream. I think if I've ever seen the sprites. Yeah. I imagine most of my sprites have been uploaded to the Spriters resource. I didn't have a hand in any of that because I just let everyone else handle my sprites for me, so I don't know what they've got up there, but yeah, if you're ever curious about checking that out, just look me up on Spriters resource. You'll probably find something there. Yeah, that's how most people know me, I think. Even though it's like something I left behind a long time ago. I've been drawing online longer than that. Yeah, sprites is something I don't do as much of. Every couple of years I get like the inspiration to make sprites. I would like to try it out again sometime. When did you leave? Yeah, that's yeah, around 2006. Wow, you have a good memory reference for that, because yeah, around 2006 is when I left, because that's when I got really busy with school. I mean, I officially left, but at the same time, I was always kind of just around anyways. But I left the MFC around that time. I know I was most active around when Shadow the Hedgehog came out. And that's why it's like the game I lean on most. I always listen to the OST and everything. He is the coolest. He will always be the coolest. Actually, it's been a while since I've actually drawn Shadow. Usually, you know, whenever I take a long break from drawing, Shadow is like one of the first things I draw to sort of get myself back on track. But I haven't this time. I really should. I really need to do another doodle of him. Yeah. Evidently, the Shadow Sprites is like going to be the most notable reference point. It's like the Shadow Sprites I made around that time, they're still used in like animations and mods nowadays. I don't pay attention, but yeah, it appears in my range of sight every now and again. Yes. Do you still get pinged about your sprites being used for like stuff like that? Yeah. Actually, yeah. Now that I think about it, like my shadow sprites have been used in a couple of death battles, but I recall that one of them was like credited under guy who just resheeted my stuff. That was mildly annoying. This is actually taking a bit longer here, so I'm gonna try to whack this out. These songs are so silly. I think after this loop, I'm gonna go back to the OST because it's very, very short. Wait, have you made it Iron Nicole and Mecha Sally? I don't believe I did. No. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think I ever did much with the actual Freedom Fighters. I know I have helped out a little bit with like mod gen stuff, but not really in my own style. Subliminal, hey. Welcome. Not after I had them pulled from MF back in 2005, 2006. Yeah, understandable. That whole thing was a shit show. I still remember it quite fondly. I remember them being used in some sprite animation at the time, and when it came for character sprite credits, I was third. That's annoying. Those guys just disappeared from the face of the internet. No idea whatever became of them. finally done with errands and saw you streaming. Yay! Welcome. Glad to have you here. They disappeared into the wind. They did. I still get, actually, now that I think about it, on like DeviantArt and stuff, actually on Twitter as well, I get DMs from people like asking, hey, what happened? Do you know? And I'm like, I have no idea. Maybe? I don't know. The world may never know. I do miss sprite forums and stuff like that. I like forums in general. There's only so much value you can get out of something like Reddit or things like that. So how many segments have I got? 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I need to try to fit 2 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe that's right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that'll do. I want to make it. Okay, so if I can get this done. Oh, I'm going to allow myself 25 minutes to do this because it will take me about half an hour to color, I reckon. So, if I can get this done cleanly as I can. Right, okay, just got the shoes left. It's always fun to go down memory lane, actually. Very nostalgic times. When did I start spriting? So I mentioned before that my first foray into spriting was and my first exposure to the internet was around during the Mugen times. So I used to make sprite edits of fighting game characters. So I used to work with a lot larger sprites. So I think that was around 2001, 2002. And then I first started doing Sonic sprites, like much smaller, like platform sprites, around the end of 2002, start of 2003. Long time ago. Unless you're actually asking about actual sprinting, not much of a sprinter. So I gotta do this part here. How old was I? I was like I was a kid. So like a kid, early teens. Okay, so just got this last foot to do, and then I can start refining the line art, which I can hopefully finish in the next 15 minutes. So she's got a couple of bolts here, bolts there, and then bolts. Okay, cool. I think that's enough for the preliminary line art, and I can get rid of the sketch. Nice. Just gotta refine this a bit. Right, I think that's looking good. But yeah, anyways guys, I'm still taking suggestions for characters to do over the next few streams. So on my YouTube channel I've got a post wherever I've asked, well, I posted up the sketch batch and they're all numbered. And taking suggestions, well, yeah, 2 suggestions per person, just to get an idea of what people would be interested in seeing. And there's also posts on Twitter and Blue Sky as well if you're watching me there. So yeah, be sure to look over it and yeah, pick out ones that you think you'd be interested in seeing. Infinite would be a good call. Yes, I would like to do an infinite. I would like to do a proper drawing of the Guardian Hunter Infinite that's on this batch. So we'll see. If I can find someone else I can do along with him during the stream, I'll yeah, potentially do him sooner than later. Given the attention. Nice, I like how she's looking. Okay. Stop. No, I want the regular OST now. So I was just gonna wait till that finished looping and I'll put this back on. Okay. I miss Old Faithful. actually, now that I think about it, I haven't really talked much about. Well, I probably have. I just can't remember, but I haven't really detailed much about what I'm actually doing with Trip in Expanse. Got a few ideas I want to work with for her story relevance. More so, because like the superstars and like the Sun Gazers lore is still one of those areas that I mentioned last time that have been new inclusions to lore, but haven't as fully integrated yet. But thankfully they don't conflict too much with what's already established. But I'm establishing the Sun Gazers in particular as like a different branch of people that also worshipped Solaris in ancient times. So in my present day stories, actually, yeah, now that I think about it, yesterday I spoke about how Ray is like an agent of Soliana, and he's like behind the scenes working to find the bits and pieces of Nephilis and Iblis to try to bring Solaris back to life. Trip is also going to be utilized in a similar manner, well, except serving a different faction. So that'll be interesting. Same story, same time period and everything. And Westopolis is so cool. Oh yeah. The Gens versions are really good. So far. This is another really bad habit I have that I've mentioned a lot in the past, is I never draw zoomed, like I should be doing things zoomed in, but I always draw things from like zoomed out. So when I do zoom in after the fact, it's like really clunky. I don't even mind the length of the opening portion. I like to build up. Yeah! It's actually pretty nice. It's very ambient. Usually though, when I listen to it, I like to just have the hype bits on loop, so I go for versions without the build up, but it is nice listening. I actually should loop the Gens playlist sometime again. I did try it out like last time I streamed, which is like, or maybe longer than that, but at the time it was still pretty new, so I was like, ah, I don't want to hit people with spoilers, so now it's in a kind of safe zone, I reckon. I think I've still got a fair bit more work left on this lineup, but I think in a few minutes I'll just close up the lines at least, but then I'll start just coloring, and then I'll fix up the line art after the fact, like along with the rest of the drawing. Actually, now that I think about it, last time I mentioned that I was going to do a lot of stuff in post, but I didn't end up doing anything with the Shackled King and Monet yesterday, because after looking at the completed drawings, I was pretty much happy with how they looked without tinkering. I think maybe like once I've compiled everything, I might go over everything like one at a time, but I was generally okay with how it looked. Just need to close the lines and then I can. if they're clean enough to okay, that's good enough. Let's see here. Let's get straight into coloring. The rest of her colors. Okay, so she's kind of more of an orange. I just got caught up on Blade of Courage. Did they say how long the series is going to be? I have no idea, actually. Yeah, not too sure if it was going to be long running or if it was going to be like as short as the Shadow series. They're not as bound by like promotional constraints as the Shadow series was, so maybe it could be longer. Don't know. Yeah, I've yet to read the latest chapter. I should really get around to that. Oh shit, I just realized. Oh, crap. There we go. Not bad, actually. That's a good thing about like just going at it, because I can just artificially correct areas with the line art, just with the coloring along with it. Don't have to worry too much about maintaining my layers. For example, there I just oh, whoops! I just realized. Oh. I was right the first time. That's concerning, actually. Just realized that my colors on my tablet look slightly different to what's coming up on the screen on my Streamlabs, or on my second monitor. MFZ talk from earlier made me look down a rabbit hole of old sprite sheets. Yeah, I do that every now and again. Like, I've got a hard drive just of stuff from like 20 years ago. Like, I look back, every now and again I look for something from like way back when, and I've maintained like all of my old files from back then. So it's it, and usually when I do that, it's like stuck there looking at old stuff for a while. Still have some of my old sprites, namely my OCs when they were still Sonics. Nice. Yeah, I've still got all my old sprites of my OC character. I still look on them quite fondly as like a reference point / history of my character whenever he comes up, like on the very rare basis. I don't do much with silence. but mainly the latest version of my shadow edits are still on TSR, still completely scrubbed of MFC drama. Okay. That's good at least. This part of the process should not take as long as it does. I'm just too insistent on not cleaning my lines and painting things in manually. But if I had clean lines and bucket or selection tool and bucket filled, this part of it would probably take no time whatsoever. I just refuse. Doesn't help as well that I do all my base coloring, like all my colors are all on the single layer. Like I don't do individual layers for everything. It's part of wanting to see the full image rendered out as you go. Process. Yeah, that's a good point actually, because yeah, literally, I just try to whack it out as soon as I can. That's why this is why I've done this, where I've sectioned out areas with the colors already. it is so I can get a better idea of it. Because I noticed yesterday, not yesterday, the other day when I was working on those other ones, when I was doing Monet in particular, I was like looking at the line and I was thinking, this doesn't look like it's gonna turn out very nice. But then, like as I threw on colors and stuff like that, and I was able to see it in totality, it was like, yeah, no, this looks decent. So it is better for me mentally, getting an idea of the overall scope of the picture before I get bored of it. It's quite barbaric. Oh yeah. That's another thing I was talking about the other day, is like, I don't watch people stream art very often, but whenever I do, I'm like, I'm often pretty encouraged, because you know, some things that I think are kind of weird that I do, you know, some people do them as well, but at the same time, it's like seeing how different their processes are can be quite motivating. Like I don't think I'd ever take on some things, but it's like, oh, okay, you could do it this way instead. Yeah, I should really watch more streams like this. I'd really like to do more time-lapse videos. Like time-lapse, like whenever I look back on my own processes, like, I can feel pretty encouraged seeing something from start to finish. You know, actually seeing it right in front of me building up real quick. But I don't know, I don't do them as often because there's a bit of setup involved, and I need to be mentally aware that I'm doing a time lapse, so that's why I tend to not do them, even though it's something I really enjoy. I don't know. I think the next time I do a normal stream, so one that's not based on existing sketches, like just from start to finish, I'll record a time lapse. Yeah, it's like a lot of mental prep. Okay, this is almost done. The time that stream will be a good girl. Yeah. You can ban yourself if you want. Okay, that's looking alright. I think that's just gotta do the coloring and then I'll Okay, time to shade. the the blue one official. Sup, bros, girlies, hey, welcome. Hope you're doing all right. In, so I've got another 2 hours. I'm not too bad here actually. Going overtime with this one, but so I reckon the stream might be a little bit longer depending on how long the descent takes. Pretty good. I'm pretty happy with how this is looking. Thanks, I'm doing well. Hope you are too. Yes, I'm doing very well, thank you. Very chill afternoon for me. Doing this is actually pretty exciting because it's like I mentioned before that this is the first time I'm properly rendering out this design, because like the previous 2 times I've drawn her, it's the first one was very sketchy and then the second one was only flat colored, so this is the first time she is getting a picture with actual shading and coloring. This one's taken a lot longer than I anticipated. Okay, I think that looks relatively decent. Checking if my style's consistent. Yeah, not too bad. I might have to thicken the outlines a little bit, but not too bad. Okay, I think that looks good. Consider that completed for now, and then I'll move on to the next one. Right. Sorry, 1 second. Alright. Let's move on to the next one, which is Lucent Lineart. Sorry, bear with me. Perfectionism kicking in. Now I'll consider that done. For now. Okay. Alright, so we're doing Lucent now. Or Lucent. I don't really know how I want to pronounce her name, but This character here is Shade the Echidna's older half sister rather. So like treating Shade as if she's a Sega universe counterpart to Julie Sue. Lucent serves the same purpose, except being the game universe version of Liandar. So she's basically an XP of her. Yeah, so she's a Nocturnus tribe member, so it'd be interesting to draw one of their armored people again. I've drawn Lucent like twice. So the first initial design drawing of her, and then in my compilation, character compilation of characters who were siblings of existing characters. Yeah. Definitely in need of giving her more sprucing up. Reference of her. Yeah, Shade's older sister. Older half-sister. XP of Leandar from Archie. She is a villain. Oh shit, I'm drawing this. Oh my gosh. Grinding. Yeah. It's all good. I don't really have that big aspirations for the channel anyways. It's just more of an outlet for me to draw. I'm not going to be like a big VTuber or anything. Right, so I got them. Nice. It's mostly done pretty quickly, so I can start to just refine this real quick and then I can start throwing colors on. just can't stop thinking about Iron Jungle with lyrics. Feels so empty now. What is up with Y2K? Yeah, more drawing. Hey, Jadric. How are you today? Hope you're going alright. Whoa, that's cool. I can't remember the last time I did any stretching. I should take this under consideration. Stretch break, yeah, true. I'm too locked in at the moment, so no time for stretching. I think that line art's nearly done already, which is pretty good. I was worried I'd be running way over time, but I think I should be able to get this done before 4 hours. Actually, actually no. Probably a lot sooner now. Not too bad, considering this is a rather complex angle. see how we go with yeah, exactly that angle. Food time soon? No worries. Getting food time for me soon as well, actually. Getting hungry. But I'm probably going to finish this before 4 hours, so depending on how long the colouring here takes, I may finish up at 3.5 hours. But we'll see. Oh, this one was a lot quicker than I thought it would take. Actually, I think Trip in particular was a outlier because I took extra time with her because, you know, she's an important design. But I'm happy with how she turned out. Might tinker with the colours a little bit. Trip herself was Trip, indeed. What's on the menu for eats? No idea. Just gonna scrounge around to see what I can find. Yeah. I started around lunchtime, but I decided not to have lunch before streaming. I find that like whenever I eat something, usually I end up coughing a lot, like after the fact, so I didn't want to have that like during the stream. Ooh, coconut stew, Brazilian style. That sounds nice. Yeah. Apparently it's supposed to be like an esophageal problem, but I've never really bothered to look into that. What other new Sonic content is there? I don't really pay any attention to anything, so I only know what I hear in passing from others. What's on the menu besides whatever's happening with Chaotix case files? Case files, Blade of Courage. Oh yeah, nice. Ooh, oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I've got to catch up with both those things. I haven't read the latest chapter of Blade of Courage, and including the one that just came out. I haven't watched the previous episode of Case Files. I'm way behind. Had the case files playing on while doing my work. It actually helped me get through my task today to have it playing in the background. Oh yeah, that's nice. When I watched the first few episodes, well, listened to the first few episodes, it was when I had to do a fair bit of traveling, so that was something I could enjoy on the bus. But I haven't had to do that anymore, so I haven't had the opportunity to listen, but yeah, I'll find something. Yeah. I haven't seen anything about it, but I did. I mean, I could tell from the thumbnail. So. Cool. I think that's looking nice. Looking sinister enough. Time to add some shading. What's happening style-wise? Very flip-floppy with my my coloring. Looks okay. That thicker. I think that's looking alright. Thank you. It's just the colors on the yes. She's not looking too bad. Just brush up a little bit, and then I think I might end it there because I, again, finished earlier than I expected. He's quick, yeah. Well, actually, I was certain I was going to run overtime because the first one I did took a lot longer than I anticipated. But got them done pretty quick. So these are what I did today. Look at that. Actually, seeing them like that, pretty happy with how they look. What do you guys think? You're late. Yeah, you're late. Just missed it. I'm just about to finish, but that's what I've done in this stream. It's not going too fast. Pretty nice pace. Thank you. Yeah, pretty happy with pace of it, because it gives me an idea of how long it'll take me to do like projects and stuff. But yeah, happy with how these turned out. Okay, there's a finally stretched. Okay, thanks everyone for popping in. I'm probably going to stream again over the next couple of days, maybe tomorrow or the following day. But yeah, be sure to either check out the YouTube post on the channel or on Twitter and Blue Sky, because I'm taking suggestions for which characters to do. So there's listed the full batch sheet with the sketches, and they've got each character is numbered. So pick out 2 of them, and then I will sort of stockpile them to get an idea of what people want to see, and if there's recurring ones, they'll get priority. But yeah, thanks again. All right, I'll see you guys later.